go.
Hello, sisters. I'm Dr. Cindy Pagano in Boulder, Colorado, and we are launching the Juicy Goddess Project. Today I have Carrie Temple Wood, who is a gorgeous, brilliant menopause. Tell me, Carrie, menopause.
Mentor and coach and midwife.
Midwife is a menopause midwife. She coined the term. I've never heard it before. And Carrie has developed the art of conscious aging. And I'm so excited to hear about conscious aging, the art of it. So, is there anything else that I missed, Carrie? What else do you do? She has a huge farm with her wonderful husband, and they provide great community here in Boulder. We all appreciate them. And teaches yoga. She's a yoga teacher. What else? A million things, I'm
That's
sure.
probably the longest thing I've been doing since actually a child. I'm a long-time yoga instructor and yoga practitioner, and that actually sets the tone for my work with women in conscious aging, because yoga works with breath and consciousness. And so when I went through pregnancy and delivery, I was very conscious in my choices around that. And so by the time I got to midlife, it made sense to me. It's like, how do I do this transition? And it was fascinating because it's the journey that every single woman will do, and no one wants to talk about it. And you know, it's not if you're going to do this. You're in a woman's body, you will do this. So the choice then, and I hope the conscious choice, is how, with what intention, with what perspective are you as a woman, are we as a collective of baby boomer women, and there are thousands of us, make this journey.
And it's a journey of menopause. So transitioning into menopause, thriving through it, and then successfully coming out the other side in the life you love.
Hopefully, yeah. It's. I think of menopause like a metamorphosis, and to me it's a really good image to hold, because if you think of the caterpillar, and we're going along in our lives and we think we've got it set, and most of the part we probably do, and without our sort of sometimes conscious knowledge, our body begins this shift, begins a rewiring that can take women back, like, what is happening? Because there's no clear starting point. It's not like you have a baby and you're done. It's like there's no clear starting point. You'd be anywhere between 35 and 50, you could start menopause. There's no clear ending point. It can go on between 7 and 14 years, so it's a journey. And women's experience can vary widely. So if you think about the caterpillar as building this chrysalis, this cocoon, and inside, if you know anything about your biology, if you think way back, everything dissolves inside. And to me, it's like the perfect understanding, because often when you're in menopause, you feel like everything, who you have been, is dissolving. The cool thing about that is you get to rebirth. So that's that midwife part. That's that place of, oh, I'm going to figure out who I have been. Okay, that's who I've been to now. And then I get to do this whole development process about who am I becoming? Because it's different, and I got this lifetime of experience that I'm bringing in to the woman that I want to become. So you build new skin, and what comes out of the chrysalis is a butterfly. You know, I mean, we get to find wings, we get to find a voice that maybe we haven't had, and that was one of the biggest things for me. I had a voice for my children. I didn't have a voice for me. And man, did that change. That really changed. It's like,
As some of us know.
And you know, you hear that phrase of feisty older women. Well, guess what? That's us. You know, that's us thriving. So thinking of menopause as an experience of empowerment rather than something that I have to tolerate, suffer through, survive, thank you, perfect word. And I rarely use the word symptom, because if you look at the dictionary or the medical world, symptom means something that needs to be fixed. There is something wrong with you. Menopause is a natural, biological transformation. You do not need to be fixed because there's nothing wrong with you. That doesn't mean that you couldn't have herbs to support you, a yoga practice, make some really good choices about diet, ditch the caffeine and the red wine. Just saying. And
I agree.
And I love my red wine. And you know what? For a while it had to just go.
Yeah.
It had to sit on the side and say, I'll
On the
catch you
shelf.
later.
Yep.
And one of the biggest things that is harder to find, but I think so important, is a support system. And that's really challenging because, as I said, it's the shift that nobody wants to talk about. And so you can bring it up in conversation, and quite often you'll just get, who, me? Like, not me. I'm not doing that. And
I'm not doing menopause?
I'm not doing menopause. Seriously.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. And, you know, how helpful is that really? Because we actually are doing it. So that's that place where I come back to a real fundamental consciousness and shift of perspective. We get to look at the mindset, because if you think of action follows thought, really old saying, all of our actions, all of our choices that we make are built on how we perceive the changes that are happening to us. So if we keep feeding ourselves negative imagery, negative thoughts, and negative everything about menopause, then very possibly you may have a more particular challenge to your journey. So looking at it as an experience of empowerment and possibility rather than, oh my God, my life is over. And guess what, ladies? In your 60s, your life is not over.
Oh, it's only just beginning.
It is only, you know, you got wings now, lady. You know, what you got to do is learn how to fly and create the journey that you want into your eldering, wise woman years. And that fuels me, gives me passion, and really invites my mind to say, wake up. This is a journey worth taking. Find the support you want. Make choices that are empowering in your journey rather than detracting. Find a yoga practice. Go walk on the earth. Find a sisterhood. Get acupuncture. Take time. Meditate. I can't stress how the mind plays into this.
And how important it is to decide at this new phase of your life what you want out of your life now and in your future, rather than dragging the baggage of the past along, right? Just, I love your image of the caterpillar and the cocoon, because that's what we need to do in menopause, is just shed what doesn't fit us anymore. It's an entirely new chapter. How exciting, how fresh, if we can consciously tune into what inspires us, what is meaningful to us, what matters at this phase. So,
yeah. And having said all of that, that's not necessarily an easy thing to do. There's a huge societal and marketing message out there that is based on youth. You know, all your anti-aging stuff, and quite honestly, I don't have time for anti-aging. I am very happy to be the age that I am, and I am darn well going to take the best care of myself that I am now, not with the idea of needing to be 20, because actually I really don't want to be 20 again, but I want to be the best thriving empowered woman in my 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s that I know how to be. And that's the journey that we get to go on. We're going to do it. So with what awareness and consciousness do we want to do that?
Might as well enjoy the ride, sisters. So Carrie, when you are working with women, do you find that there's a common thread of menopause that we kind of all experience? And
So what I find is the stories are different, but the energy beneath the stories of maybe feeling alone, feeling a little bit invisible, like everything's changing in my mind and my body, but nobody kind of clued me in as to what that is or how it was going to happen. Or my relationships are shifting and changing, and why is that all of a sudden? My marriage all of a sudden is not quite what I was thinking I wanted it to be. Or the job that I've been in for 20 or 30 years no longer fits me. Like, what do I want to do now? And so although the stories for each woman might be slightly different, when you work around a circle with these women sharing them, there's this collective sense of, oh, I get it. Like, everybody understands, even though the words are slightly different. There is that common theme of things are shifting and I'm trying to figure out this changing landscape and make sense of my life now. So the hot flashes may be somewhat universal, although not always. Some people whizzed through things and didn't even know it happened.
yeah,
Entirely possible. Some people are absolutely sidelined by them, and so there's a wide variety there. Sleep disturbances, that can come in. Anxiety, depression, things that need to come up, like a life review, things that need to come up are going to come up to be looked at. So we can keep shoving them down, or we can gradually, safely open one door at a time. It's like, okay, what's this? Do I need this? Is this who I am now? Or, no, actually I'm done with
like
that.
a metamorphosis and
That-
shedding,
that
like
shedding.
the skins that we don't want to be carrying into our future.
Yeah. And it may be revitalizing something that you dropped 20 years ago. It's like, I so have missed doing that. Yes, I want to pick that up again. Like for me, I checked out about 15 things when I was going through menopause. I was like, real estate. I love interior design. Well, I sucked at a lot of them. But what...
I doubt it.
Oh God, no I did really. But what really came up was beauty in the sense of creating sacred space, whether that was for women or whether that was in art form. I discovered silk painting and I was like, oh man, this is a whole other language that I don't even understand yet, and started diving into that, and I was just happy as a clam of just design and art. So what happens, I notice with women, is this creative spark that may have been put in a lot of other areas, maybe career, maybe family, maybe any number of causes, a different, and renewed creative spark arises. And if that happens, if you notice, if you take the time to begin to notice that, I really invite you to check it out, to dive into it, and to get excited about, wow, like my life really isn't over. I get to explore this new woman that I am becoming, because the statistics show if you make it to 55 as a woman, 50% of us will make it to another 30 years. So if you think of 30 years, that is a lifetime.
It is, that's a long time.
That's
yeah.
a long, you think between birth and 30, you did a whole heck of a lot.
Although it goes by fast.
Well, it will. But what we're bringing at 55 or 65 into this journey is very different than what we had to learn and discover from 0 to 30.
This is true.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's another lifetime, but it's not the lifetime that we had. So what is that lifetime that you want to become and to live into? What are the dreams now?
I love what you said about creativity. Deepak Chopra says that creativity is God.
Or the goddess.
Yes, same, okay.
Absolutely. It is that inner spirit creative spark of finding a voice. So, yeah, I think this is a journey worth taking. You know, I'm not shoving aside. And feeding yourself the love and the support and the community and the positive energy that is possible for every woman during this time. Because it can last a while. It's not, I'm done in a day or two. It's years. So how do you want to live those years? And that choice, every breath we take is a choice that we get to make. So,
Yeah, and every breath is fresh and new and in the moment.
Into the moment, into this next moment. Yeah.
That is beautiful, Carrie. Anything else that you would like to add or?
Working with women in this time of my life is what I love to do. You know, this is where I found my new passion of supporting women, working with women all over the world. And I've created a program to help women journey through this, a 6-week program, and then a longer time, and we often can meet monthly and connect to really support a woman on her path and let her know that she's not alone.
And then how do women find you?
A bunch of different ways. I have a beautiful website, even if I do say so myself.
Did you design it?
No.
Okay.
No, can't take credit for it, which is why I can say it's a beautiful website, because I didn't design it. Although I had lots of ideas about it. Called The Art of Conscious Aging. So that's my brand, that's what I do. There's a Facebook page to the same name, The Art of Conscious Aging. And for women who really want a dialogue and an online support community, I have a great little closed group that women join called the Menno Tent. You know, I figure the younger women have the red tent. Like, there's nothing for the midlife ladies. It's like, okay, we got a Menno Tent. And so they can join me online for that, and I post a lot of information there, and discussion and support and questions and dialogue. My phone number is on my website, email is on my website, and I'm open to all of that. I have a half-hour consultation time where I just listen and connect and see what every person and woman needs, and they can work with me or not work with me, but what's really important to me is that support, of really letting them know that they're not alone, that you're not alone.
Yeah, and that you can thrive rather than just survive menopause.
You can.
So thank you for listening, sisters, and we will be back with you soon. Much love.